Well, the movie is called Moondance Alexander, and it's a film that was inspired by a true story, and it follows the adventures of a sort of a misunderstood teen, a renegade pinto pony, a down-and-out horse trainer, and how they pursue their dream of competing in an elite horse jumping competition. It's a family film. It's a feel-good film, if you want to call it.
Now, was it easier to be behind the camera for this one, or did you miss being in front of the camera?
Well, I really didn't miss being in front of the camera because I was actually so busy trying to focus and really, do the best job possible as a director. But, having spent 20-plus years as an actor and working with some wonderful directors like Gary Marshall and even when I did the musical Joseph, working with Andrew Lloyd Webber, I was able to work with these fabulous, craftsmen, and they taught me a lot. And so I tried to emulate them and do the best job possible as a director.
Now, your wife wrote this script, correct?
Well, we wrote it together. This is inspired by a true story. It's Janine's story. It's my wife's adventures when she was growing up in Mississippi, and she had this little pinto pony named Checkers, and this extraordinary adventure and journey that she went on was the basis for this film.
Okay. And was that? Tell me about that experience, about writing it with her.
Well, it's really great because basically when you're writing and it's based on a true story, I could look over and say, Janine, so tell me, what happened when this happened, or I know you guys didn't have a lot of money, so how did you buy the expensive elite equestrian jacket? And she said, well, we got a secondhand coat and we had to go to a thrift shop, and I had to wear rubber riding boots and instead of beautiful leather riding boots. So all these little gems of her life we tried to bring together into the screenplay, and it was just a wonderful experience working with my wife, and it's a lot of fun writing with her.
Now, also this past year, you also returned to Young the Restless. How's that?
It was great. It was kind of like a class reunion, being back together with all my old friends and crew and cast, and it was the big 35th anniversary for the show and 1,000 weeks at #1, so that was I thought that was pretty cool, and thrilled that they asked me to come back, and I did a concert on the show, and it felt like being back home.
Were you surprised at all at the success of the song Rock On?
Well, I always felt that the song had potential, but the problem is when I played the song for all the record companies, nobody thought it was a hit. So I just sort of had to put blinders on and say, you know what, I'm going to find somebody that believes in it and somebody that will release this record. And I was very fortunate to find a record company, Cypress A&M Records, to finally get behind it, and it took off. And I didn't think it was going to go to #1, but it was my dream fantasy to have a #1 record, and I was so thrilled and honored.
Now, I have to say, out of all the stuff you've done, movies, television, you've already mentioned it, but my favorite thing of your work is Joseph.
Oh,
It's
thank
one
you.
of my top 3 favorite musicals, the soundtrack I listen to over and over again.
Thank you.
Out of the 3 things, television, movies, and Broadway, which one did you enjoy doing the most?
Well, when I was doing the musical, I wasn't directing and making movies. So, and when I was doing Young and the Restless, I hadn't done a musical on Broadway before. So they were all sort of I kind of call it chapters, separate chapters of my life. And I started in music from the very beginning when I was 12, and that got me into acting, and from the acting got me onto Broadway, and then all 3 of combined got me into movie making. So I try to take a little piece of each part of those careers and bridge them together. And that's pretty much what filmmaking is, because you're working with composers, you're working with actors, you're working with screenwriters. Well, actually, we wrote it, so I get to work with myself, but my wife, actually, she's more fun than I am. And so all these things come into play when you're making a movie. So I really can't say I pick one over the other, but they were all incredible experiences, and I'm still learning, and I hope to have more.
Well, I got to go here soon, but I do want to ask you one question. It's something I ask all celebrities, and that is there a piece of work that you've done that you really enjoyed, but you don't think it got either it didn't get the credit it deserved, or you just the audience wasn't there as you thought it should be to enjoy this piece of work?
That's an interesting question. I can't think of anything right now. That's surprising. Yeah, no, it's amazing. I've been very fortunate and blessed because my dream was to have a #1 record, and it happened. I wanted to become an actor, and I landed the part on Young and the Restless and did that for 20 years. And then I wanted to do Broadway and had the opportunity of working with Andrew Lloyd Webber, and now I want to make movies, and we're so fortunate to have, Moondance Alexander out today on DVD. So, I've been able to, I've been just very blessed. So I can't say that none of them got the attention, because here we are today talking about it.